Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everyone. Let me follow in the footsteps of the professor. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, now I have your attention. It's been a wonderful day. It's been an amazing public lecture for us today. We're really delighted that we're able to do this in a full physical fashion and also with our online participants. You would agree with me that it's been amazing. The discussion has been robust. The discussion has been insightful. Some very thought-provoking discourse has happened here. And I believe that each and every one of us are glad that we made it to this public lecture. And on that note, I'd like you to just put your hands together and appreciate yourselves. All right, my assignment here is very simple. I'm here to say thank you on behalf of the President and Chairman of Council, Mr. Taiwo Gbengawo Kalade, the entire Council members of ICSAN, and all the members of ICSAN. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us this morning, now afternoon. We're in afternoon already. You've been a very patient audience, and you've been very, very attentive all through. We do appreciate both those who are here in this hall with us and also the online participants. So this is just an opportunity to appreciate each and every one. But it's also very important to give honor to whom honor is due. So I'm going to be mentioning a few names to thank specifically for the role that they have played in making this public lecture a success. And I'll start with no other than the chairman of today's occasion, who joined us virtually and is also here ably represented. I'm talking about no other than the Honorable Minister for State, Labor and Employment, Mr. Festus Keyamo, SAN, who is also ably represented by Mr. Dave Olua, a special advisor. Thank you so much, sir, for taking time. Yes, please appreciate him. Thank you very much. Our keynote speaker, Professor Bongo Adi, Faculty of Lagos Business School. I think what the professor did for us at today's lecture was to crunch a whole module for us. That was really, really, really exciting, and I believe a lot of takeaways. And we also look forward to receiving those nuggets that you promised to share with us. Thank you so very much, Prof, for sharing your thoughts with us and also for sharing your depth of knowledge with us. We do appreciate. To our discussants, Mrs. Toyin Sani, who joined us from Rwanda. Mrs. Toyin Sani is also a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators. And I must say, my own very mentor, an amazing woman. We say thank you so much for finding the time, despite your location, to be with us today and for sharing your thoughts with us. Again, quite thought-provoking, all that you shared with us. We do appreciate it. Also, Mr. Rufai Khalid, FCIS, the GM Litigation, Property and Environmental Law Department, NNPC. Thank you so much, sir, for the repeated reminder that you were talking to us in your personal capacity. We really appreciate your candor. Thank you so much. All right, Ajia is no longer in the house. We also like to appreciate her coming and for the brief thoughts that she shared with us. Ajia Irete Kingibe. We have to recognize and appreciate the DG of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Dr. Lamido Yuguda. I believe I saw a couple of faces from the exchange earlier on. I don't know if they're still around. Please mention the highest regards of the Institute to the DG on our behalf. Okay. Mrs. Victoria Irabo, she had been earlier recognized. She's no longer here with us, but we also appreciate her coming and all of our support towards this public lecture. The chairman of ICSAN, Abuja, and Lagos State chapters, Mr. Ayodeji Adebi, ACIS, and Mr. Femi Shokon, FCIS. Thank you so much. You are well recognized once again. Our own Dr. George Ekundayo, ACIS, who is also one of us. He was here earlier on, and then he whispered to me that duty called impromptu, and he had to leave. We appreciate him for showing his solidarity despite the exigencies of office. To all the council members here present and also online, we appreciate your coming in your numbers. Please appreciate yourselves. Please help us appreciate our council members. Thank you so much. Past presidents who have joined us online and who are still online with us, we appreciate you and your continuous support. The DG of the National Institute of Legislative and Democratic Studies, National Assembly, Professor Sulaiman Abubakar, ably represented here by Dr. Kabir Ahmed, Director of Administration and Human Resources. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate your coming, and you've also been very patient. Thank you. Earlier on, Dr. King Jack was here to share brief thoughts with us. He's Regional Manager, North Central Region Bank of Industry. Thank you so much for coming and for identifying with the public lecture today. Mr. Monday Ajay, Chairman, MBA Buhari Branch. Thank you. Mr. Idowu Bello, Group MD, Dumbbell Investment Group. Thank you for coming. Dr. Emeka Nwabweze, FCTI, representing Chief Adedayo Adeshino, President of CITN. Thank you very much. Mr. Joshua Adeoye, he was earlier recognized as the past chairman of Oyo State Chapter. Mr. Joshua Adeoye, FCIS. We also have, we would also like to recognize and appreciate the DG of the Nigerian Law School, Abuja, Professor Issa Chiroma. We'd like to recognize and appreciate our sponsors, Mr. Khalid Rufai, ACIS, Mr. Yabo Ahmed, ACIS, Geronde Constructions Limited, Abuja Property Development Limited, Abuja Investments Company Limited, Abuja Market Management Limited, and the Bank of Industry. Please, can you appreciate our sponsors? Thank you. Thank you for your worthy sponsorship. We appreciate your support for today's public lecture. Of course, the Publicity and Advocacy Committee had earlier been appreciated, but I can't leave them out of my list because they were the engine room behind the entire success that we have recorded today. I would like for us to appreciate them again together. Please go ahead and appreciate the Publicity and Advocacy Committee, ably led by Mrs. Linda Onefeli, FCIS. Now, you know, when the chairman of that committee came up here, she did say that majority of the members of that committee are in Lagos. So to have this kind of national program in the FCT, we needed the real daughters and sons of the soil. And that was where the LOC came in. They've been appreciated earlier, but I want to mention them again very specially. Thank you for all the hard work. Ably led by our own elder, Mr. Babatunde Kwelewura. Thank you so much. Mrs. She's going to forgive me now. Mrs. Toyin Bashir, ACIS. Mrs. Marilyn Eze, Mr. Dedeji Adebi, ACIS, also the chairman of Abuja chapter. Mrs. Abeyuwa Obayuwana. I'm sure I did better than your chairman with his pronunciation. Mrs. Adako Amadi, thank you also very much for all the hard work and the legwork that went into the organization. We also would like to appreciate our media partners. You've all been fantastic. You've all been amazing. I'm going to start with Channels Television. We also have Guardian. We have the Sun newspaper, the Leadership newspaper, This Day newspaper, Blueprint, and City News. Please, let's appreciate the gentlemen of the Fourth Estate of the Realm. We appreciate the support you give us constantly, even to project the ethos of good corporate governance, of which ICSAN is a foremost institute. On a final note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to appreciate and especially thank the chairman of council and our own president for his leadership at all times. We can see that a whole lot has gone into the planning of this public lecture, and we can see also that everything has turned out well because of the kind of leadership we also have. Before I leave this podium, I'm looking in one direction, and I would like for you to appreciate with me the young lady you see in that corner. She's our CEO and registrar, Mrs. Ganiya Tolushesi. and the entire team at the Secretariat. Well done for all the hard work you do behind the scenes and indeed in the trenches to ensure that all our programs go well. We really appreciate all that you do. Once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you are all appreciated for coming to join us today, and we believe that it has been a worthy time together, even as we continue in the discourse to ensure that we move our nation, Nigeria, forward. Thank you very much.